Our next item is about a naked nun. No, it's not another church scandal or anything about Mary Magdalene. This nun lived well over 1,000 years ago. Her name was Ethelfleda. And this weekend, at the first Ethelfleda Festival in Romsey Abbey, the world premiere will take place of a musical drama of the life of Romsey's most famous nun. The piece, entitled Weaving Wisdom's Way, has been specially written by the Professor of Applied Music at Winchester University, the Reverend Dr June Boyce-Tillman. We talked to her and to the Vicar of Romsey, Tim Sledge.
Well, Ethelfleda was the daughter of one of King Edgar's nobles, Ethelwold, in the 10th century. She was born and brought up in this area. She was orphaned and came to live in the abbey. She was famed as an abbess, and the key thing she was famous for was really her holiness, her devotion, her particular commitment to the poor. And this was exemplified in the legends which surround her, which are told every year in the abbey around this time, which is her patronal festival.
The appeal of Ethelfleda for me is that of women's authority within the church. It's been extremely difficult for women in the contemporary period to have any authority, whether you're looking at musical authority or whether you're looking at priestly authority. So it's claiming some roots for, I guess, quite simply, my own authority as a musician and as a priest.
Well, the legends are wonderfully colourful. The most famous and unique for her is that she used to get up in the middle of the night and go and bathe in the River Test, which weaves through past Romsey, naked, where she would recite the Psalms and other prayers.
The River Test has been part of Ethelfleda's life, and it's been part of mine. As I came back from the rehearsal on Friday, the train went through that unbelievably beautiful reed beds, and the Test winds slowly, getting gradually wider until it reaches the Solent. And it is a place of immense beauty, and I spent a lot of my time as a child there, and looking at the river, investigating quite dangerously now. I'm not sure we'd be allowed to do it, you know, how far you could go in the reed beds before you got sucked under.
One night, when the nuns gathered in the Norman Abbey, all the candles blew out. So Ethelfleda had nothing to see the Bible to read, so she prayed and the nuns prayed, and there's the story told of her fingers beginning to glow like fire, which enabled her to be able to read the scriptures and for everybody else to see.
I see wisdom from my own study of the wisdom scriptures as a view of God as weaver. So as a composer, I've tried to use the same techniques of weaving in the way that I write. So in this particular case, I took the folk songs which were collected by George Gardner in that particular area at the beginning of the 20th century. And I took the Winchester Troper, which is a large collection of two-part music dating from about the year 1000, which is roughly contemporary with Ethelfleda. And then there was my own music, and so those three musics were woven together. So that notion of weaving is there all the time. Throughout the whole piece runs St. Ethelfleda's song. In the weaving and reweaving is holy wisdom known. In the weaving and reweaving, community is grown. In the weaving and reweaving is nature's fruitful play. We can learn with Ethelfleda the weaving of the way.
The Reverend June Boyce-Tillman, and you also heard from the Vicar of Romsey, Tim Sledge. This is Sunday on BBC Radio 4. The time is now coming up to 7:31.